I did 7 deployments, and there was no time where I was in your guys' shoes, which is like, even when we were going to Ramadi, I knew it was bad, but it was sort of bad in a good way, you know, there's lots of bad guys there and it's going to be a great deployment. And so I kind of had that feeling, and by the way, we only found out we were going to Ramadi 2 weeks before we deployed. So we were really focused on Baghdad. And Baghdad, I had been to Baghdad and kind of done the same kind of operations that were done in Baghdad. So it was very much, okay, cool, like it's going to be a great deployment. But then we find out we're going to Ramadi. And, you know, we barely even had time to talk to the guys that were over there. No pre-deployment site survey. We just show up. And it was real obvious when we got there, though. Like, oh, okay. And I knew it. I mean, I knew how bad it was because you're seeing the casualty reports in Al Anbar province, and most of the casualties are in Ramadi. But I never went on a deployment where, like, you guys knew 100% what you were getting into, as much as a human being can know what it's going to be like. And there's only so much you can convey. You know, I was talking to a kid that was going through pool comp. He was going to go through pool comp, and I said, hey man, like, pool comp is really, really messed up in buds. And, you know, the kid's like, you know, he's a surfer and comfortable in the water, and he was doing good in all the other aspects. And he's like, you know, how bad can it be type thing. And he failed it. He failed it the first one, failed the second one, finally passed on the third try. And I said to him, I was like, hey, you know, I tried to tell you how messed up pool comp was. And he looked at me and said, nothing you could have told me would have conveyed to me how fucked up pool comp is. And so I feel like that was kind of where you guys were at. Like, we're telling you guys, hey, you know, it's gnarly. And as much as you guys could possibly understand that, you guys understood it.
Well, you know, I think we fully understood it because, you know, after action reports you're always getting, and they're always inflated. They're always, you know, trying to make something, you know, we did this JSET or whatever, and you build it up to do. We did all these things. But this was the first time that we were reading these after action reports. We knew it was true. These things were very truthful, and this is what we were preparing to go do. Mm-hmm. And I think that was across the board. Everybody knew that.
Mm-hmm. I got some emails between Elliot and Leif and Elliot. Mm-hmm. This one is from Elliot to Leif, May 17th. So this is like, we're only we're like a month and a half into deployment. From Elliot to Leif. Damn, dude. What are you tasking a bruiser dudes doing over there? All the different rumors and stories we're getting back here on the Strand make it sound like blood, spit, and ass are just flying everywhere you go, including chow. Good stuff. Too bad about Cowie. So Cowie was in your buds class with Leif and Elliot, and he was wounded bad in May of 2006. You said, too bad about Cowie. Anyway, dude, holler back whenever you get the chance. And then Leif wrote back that day, Brosif, what's happening? You guys finished up with ULT. We're doing a lot, man. There's a few places out there in Cowtown that are going to need a little remodeling. If you guys are headed out to relieve us, then you are set, because this is the place to be. Downtown has got some crazy shit going on. How are things in Sandog? Fast forward a little bit, July 24th from Elliot. Dude, and I'm not 100% sure what this means. Dude, you boys got the top down with your lean on or what? For those of you that don't know, and I'm assuming this is a gangster rap thing, because Leif Babin is like a gangster rap aficionado. Yeah. And so I'm assuming that's a gangster rap thing. Got your top down with your lean on. Yeah. We be hearing good stuff coming out of your hood. Just try and save some for your old boys in Bravo. We don't want to get over there. You guys have turned that place into a ghost town. All the fellas are doing good though, and everyone gives you a shout. I'll tell them you said what's up. Anyhow, take care, dude. And it's funny, it's very hard to understand the mind of team guys where that's, you know, he's kind of half joking. Elliot's kind of half joking, but like, leave some for us. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? That's the attitude. Leif replied, Elliot, all is good here. Lots of shooting going on regularly. Always a good time. Be ready to get your sniper on. Make sure the 300 Win Mag is doped in, as you should be putting her to good use. Slap Al in the nuts for me. Keep it real and take it to the house. Fast forward a little bit. And again, this is what's happening as you guys are preparing to deploy. And do you know when you guys found out you were going to relieve us, when that like got confirmed?
I don't remember exactly when it was. I mean, I think it was like later in ULT, but we knew, I think, because, our leadership was very keen on people knowing where they're going as early as possible. Good. It wasn't that little game at the end,
Yeah.
I think about 6 months out was when we knew.
Check. Yeah, and that's basically when we got there. So as we got there, you guys were probably, all right, let's see what these guys are doing, and then you're tracking. Here's another email. This one's from August 19th from Elliot. Sorry to hear about everything. And that right there is just a reference to Mark Lee and Ryan Job, Ryan getting wounded so bad and Mark getting killed on August 2nd. But I'm glad to hear you're all right. Everyone is pretty anxious to get over there and replace you guys so we can put a little hurt on too. Got to admit though, TU Bruiser has set set the bar good and high. But who are we kidding? You're only as good as I taught you, young Jedi. Well, as usual, I don't have much to say. Take care, brother, and always remember, Elvis isn't dead. Mickey Mouse is really a master conspirator of communism, and Chuck Norris is just a fucking actor. Have fun, dude. Leif replied the same day, E-Rex, which is one of your nicknames. Your other nickname is Booger, which you got that from your parents? No, who gave you the nickname Booger? One of the things you wrote, E-Rex, thanks for your words, brother. Rough times here, but we are driving on with the mission. There will be
I don't remember.
You just became Booger at some point.
But I think that it was Dave Tyndall and Zowie who gave me that nickname because I had said one time that I wanted to booger some chicks, and then it stuck with me.
Fair enough. Reply to that email. Another nickname that you had was E-Rex. It said, this is from Leif. E-Rex, thanks for your words, brother. Rough times, but we are driving on with the mission. There will be lots to do here as long as your head shed lets you do it. Depends on how much risk they want to run. Obviously, it's some dangerous shit. As always, I'm still your daddy. Enjoy your last 6 weeks in the world, and we'll see you out here soonest. Give a shout out to Al, Ray, Casey, JoJo, and Baby Lou for me. Peace out, your grandpappy. So there was still the rest of that was in August that you sent that email. There's still the rest of August, September, October before you guys deployed, and we would send home more wounded. And of course, September 29th, Mikey Monsoor was killed. Were you guys still? Did you guys go to his funeral?
Yeah.
I just can't imagine a more sobering pre-deployment event.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough watching the guys too. We're getting ready to step out the door and seeing him come back and go to his funeral, and it was hard. It was hard to keep focused on what was going on or where we're going, but it was also a good way to focus on where we're going. So it was a hard time though.